and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are now tuned in Mo Makazana 015 podcast.
Good afternoon, our viewers. Today we are having one of our best episodes with one of our greatest art intellectual in our community of Makotopong. Before we begin this episode, he is not just a teacher in classroom, but also outside, a guy you can chill with and talk with sometimes about life. And the reason I said he is one of the building blocks, it is mainly because he is involved in many activities which uplift our community. So we welcome to you, Mr. Mailula.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about yourself, sir.
Yeah, I'm local.
Yes.
I'm a citizen of this community from long before.
Yes.
When you look at my face, you can see that I'm old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you indicated that I'm contributing much into the community,
Yes.
not only in visual arts,
Yes.
in sports,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
many other community activities. So now I was teaching locally,
Yes.
creative arts, and now I'm somewhere around nobody.
Yes.
Yeah, in the teaching field.
So I am intrigued by the fact that you are the only person whom comes to mind when we talk about art. How has art impacted your life from the time you began involving yourself in art and up until now?
Yeah, you know, look at art itself. It's a very unique subject.
Yes.
Because it starts with a talent.
Yeah.
You cannot just fall into in love with art without any other talent of this nature.
Okay.
You know, I've got a very, very strong background in relation to the arts.
Yes.
Starting from my childhood, I was drawing like each and every African child,
Yeah.
from lower primaries, higher primaries, and so on. In every class, I continue drawing.
Yeah.
And remember, during that time, it was just what you call manual art.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was not fine art, but currently we're talking about fine art. Hence,
Yeah.
creative art is there, but it's also complicated, especially if we talk about the visual art,
Yeah.
whereby teachers are not yet trained intensively to teach the learners in class.
Yeah.
So now they are frustrated by the process within the Department of Education,
Yeah.
whereby if learners are talented in arts, it's very difficult for a teacher to nurture the talent of that particular learner.
Yeah.
That's why most of our learners, they are confused nowadays, especially those who are talented in art.
Yeah.
They don't know which career should they take,
Yeah.
they choose. Now, most of them, they move from our rural
Yeah.
community places
Yeah.
to the urban areas in Johannesburg, because art is featuring a lot there.
Yeah.
Like at primary level, I taught one learner by the name of Makotopong, who's now a
Yeah.
famous artist.
Yes.
And he went in as far as other countries is concerned and overseas as well,
Yeah.
because of art.
Yeah.
There's one she's now a lady.
Yeah.
She's staying currently as I'm speaking,
Yeah.
she's in the United States of United Kingdom,
Yeah.
because of the arts. I was offering it over the weekends.
Yeah.
And sometimes back when I was still at the primary level at Mananga, I also taught the grade 12 learners from Capricorn High School. They were only the whites. They were coming to my place every Saturday to teach them about the African arts.
Yeah.
So now, the impact of arts in my life is very high, because so far as I'm speaking, I'm famous because of arts.
Yeah.
I'm an artist. I paint, I draw, and I love it.
Yes.
And I so wish that maybe learners could get it up to grade 12. But unfortunately, we have very few teachers in the Faculty of Arts who can offer it to
Yeah.
grade 12.
Yeah.
Because currently, most of the learners, you look at the creative arts, it consists of dance, visual art, music, and drama.
And what you're doing is also art.
And what I'm doing
Yes.
is art as well.
Yes.
You know, art, people look up, down upon it because they think maybe it's only for those learners who are not good in class.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a unique subject on its own.
Yeah.
You talk about whatever the arrangement, whatever the colors, how you dress, how you present yourself, it's art.
Yeah.
So people have got a negative impact towards art, but that's how art is all about our life.
Okay.
Sure.
So, having mentioned Ketlachi Park,
Yeah.
do you know that he he has a label called Chipepazan.
No, not yet informed
Yes.
about it. It's a new thing altogether.
And I got to learn about him on the internet.
Yeah.
Not knowing that
I told you.
You also nurtured.
Nurtured that young boy. Yeah.
So, as a young person, I'm asking myself, what is the Department of Education doing to, uplift people like you and give them the platform to...
It's very difficult. It's very difficult because we're attending various workshops in arts.
Yes.
You find that even the CA, the curriculum advisors for arts, they didn't measure in any single discipline, either be visual art or drama or dance or music. It's very difficult. As long as they're experiencing a problem in implementing this, it's going to be worse for the teachers. So now, you look at the department is emphasizing math and science, and we're not all going to be scientists. No, we can't. So now, everyone must follow his talent. So most people, the African people, most of them are talented. You look at art itself. In South Africa, the poorest people are the artists. But in America, Europe, and stuff like that, the richest people are the artists. The musicians, the boxers, and whatever, those are the rich people. So, because of art.
And, having said what you have said, it's like it's done on purpose because they know that we have the ability to do these things, but still we are not given that platform to do these things. What we are doing right now is art.
Yeah.
And to tell you that I learned to do this while in your class, in grade 9, sometimes in grade 8. So it's like the moment you left our school, our high school, I knew that creative art is finished.
It's
because if you check our curriculum, in art we talk about tone, texture,
and the elements of art.
And then when you go to English, there are some things whereby they'll tell you this time you should tone your voice down, tone it up. And when you check the elements around that, it comes from art.
Exactly.
We have artists around, they don't have that art element. They just know they are talented, but they don't have the fundamental skills to
Exactly.
So what do you think must happen, irregardless of depending on the Department of Education? What can we...
in my mind, if all goes well, but unfortunately it's difficult, the National Arts Council must sponsor people like me, so that we must have art schools in our community, so that we know who are talented. The learners will automatically come. I must tell you, currently, there are 2 learners I'm teaching at I taught them last year in that very particular school. I'm telling you, they're the best. And then they're always drawing, even now, which means it's their talent. But the question is, where are they going? How is that talent going to be nurtured? Hence, there's no one close to them, be me or the institution, where they can learn more about it. Because at the end of the day, it's their talent, and they need exposure. So now, the Department of Education really, according to me, they're doing very little. The art museum in town is there, but the question is the distance. The question is, how many of us know about it? Yes, they have such institutions in our communities. Then that will be close to everybody. Then they will come. Currently now the government has planned or approved, maybe, this is open for correction. They plan to build a theater around Bulukwan. But the question is, after how long? Because if we talk about the artists, most artists in South Africa are from Limpopo. The musicians and so on. You talk about Sologala. He's a musician from Mulej. So he's talented. So his talents was recognized while he was in Joburg. You see now? Now, the Yuma Sekela and Hell. Lots and lots of people.
Even Villager SA.
The Villager SA. Same, exactly. It's local. But the question is, if those institutions could be built, erected in our communities, really we will have an access to go and display our talent. Exactly.
Mentioning the likes of that, I know some of the learners that you taught art.
Exactly. Fanisi Boni, Mohau, exactly. The late, exactly. Those who were responsible for visual art from grade 10 to 12. But unfortunately, because of some technicalities,
things happen. And my question is, if you were given, that platform,
enough time, really today, as I was speaking, they will be far. You look at Farisiboni and others, sorry, there seems to be a bit frustrated because what they're supposed to do in their life, it's not existing. You know, it's not existing.
And it seems like it is people's data.
Yes.
And
now we're frustrating these people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask about because I take you as the root sensei, the teacher in the not just in the classroom but in the community. How has life changed from Makotopong back then and until now?
Yeah, so far I can tell a bit about the soccer tournaments. I'm referring to the Nimulele Foundation is doing a lot in terms of uplifting the economy of our community and involving our learners in sports. And sport is part of art. Now, if we could have this type of people, it's not the only person. We know them, but unfortunately, they don't use the relevant people to bring the activities into the community. That is sports administration and whatever. So now he is doing this tournament almost every year, and I'm lucky and happy for this year being engaged to form part of the LOC, the sports management for that tournament. Really, as I'm speaking and talking to you, everything went well. And what I did for him so far, of which we're still waiting it to be published, it's the magazine for that tournament. I documented almost everything to show the sensitivity and the importance of such events. So that because in the long run, whoever comes, that should be an icon. That is a document to go through, a document not to be misplaced. It must serve a purpose throughout. Because we easily forget about the other things that took place in our time.
And this question is quite tricky, but how's your mindset around documenting black excellence? Like me being here and saying, Mailula, I personally recognize you for what you have done in our community.
The past.
Is it something that I should keep on doing, or is it something?
Yeah, I think this is very good. Because you are exposing these people to the universe. Because if you check now, I did the same like you are doing now. You are researching about the important people in our community who must be known nationally, otherwise. I think it's a very good job. And we hope that the people will be able to change and look at the world and life positively, so that tomorrow they must be part of whoever you think is important.
So I've also been growing around here, and I've realized that most of us versed the ability in the government to come through and help us. And throughout the years, nothing has been happening or nothing has been shifting. So my thing is, everything, it starts with you saying, I want to do this, not because I'm funded by the government or whatever not. So in this interview, I was hoping if I could ask you that, if possible, we go out and look for maybe a school or something and get learners who are maybe invested or are passionate about art, and you can maybe somehow, somewhere, teach them art, and give them that background about art, because it's a sad reality being here, listening to maybe one vocalist or someone singing. You can see that they can sing, but they don't know the impact of singing. And that thing can be only found through Mr. Mailula, who is not given that recognition that he is supposed to be given.
You know, I think it's time maybe to go all out, like as you indicated, to visit, especially the schools. Because learners might be knowing that really we're doing art, but this is something very useless. So now once given this type of a background, I think it will be motivating to them.
So to these pictures, we want to know, when was this picture drawn and what inspired it and what's the message behind it?
The first one here, just close to me, it was done in 2012. And It's a painting from the watercolors acrylics on fabric. Yeah, it's a canvas painting. Yeah. Now I captured this the time we went to Bochum, visiting one of our families, and on our arrival, the old lady wanted to buy a cold drink for us, and she said, no. I sent my life in the rural areas. What's happening in the rural areas?
Yes.
What activities do we have? And the dress code as well. We don't mind. We just dress as we so wish.
Okay.
Unlike in the urban areas, you find people putting on tight feet and stuff like that. But with this one, loose clothes, just seated down and playing the ghetto.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's wonderful. So, if this is the only picture that's drawn, if there's no one you are teaching from around our area, it means we'll never have
we'll never capture this type of moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
this one, and the second one, it's all about our beliefs. That is Mandela, the African pots, and the shrine as well, the calabash, the Nokiri, and that one by Vija King, Kaspedi,
I see.
Pass, and all those kind of things. So I'm just trying to show the people that really Mandela is an African person. He doesn't neglect or get rid of our beliefs. So now, since the inception of democracy in 1994, that's when we started to appreciate our culture ourselves. That's why now many people love their culture to date. So now Mandela belongs to the entire universe.
So looking at this picture, I got a different message.
Yeah.
Could you say that this was maybe a manifestation because of currently what's happening in the political realm? The ANC losing its majority power.
Yeah, you look at the policies, this somehow political. They talk about democracy and celebrations of our culture and stuff like that, but most people are whites. Let me put it, black whites. Yeah, their behavior and whatever. Because once you find someone going through this process, his belief, people might look down upon him maybe. Yeah, but with this painting, and with Mandela in the whole thing, it really shows that you must just be who you are. Like as said by Steve Biko. Black person, be what you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since you said you are on limited time, I think we are gonna have time to shoot another interview. I learned a lot, but before closing down, I want to know from you, what is it that you want a learner that is, invested in arts, but in a way she or he doesn't have the bigger vision, or maybe doesn't look forward in pursuing her artistic side? What is it that you can tell him or her to keep doing or look out for? People to research about.
The first thing is, those learners are blank now. The first thing that can be done is to visit those schools. Tell them more about art. Then they will come out. Then it's then that we can deal with the problem. Number one, I can create a workshop here. Number two, we can go for outings. Excursions around town. Just to see what art is. It doesn't start with me. Somewhere art is there, so they must go and learn more about it. Then they will take it from there.
So we thank you, sir, for joining us today. We hope to have you again and give us your fruitful experience about art. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Well done, and I appreciate your presence here. Really, I never expected people of your age to come up with this unique activity. Because it's a question of creativity. Most of our learners, most of our people here, young boys like you, most of them are not doing what you are doing. I'm telling you, like now they're in the shepherds. They're doing all these reckless things. So now there's a vision in you. That's development.
And not to sound cliche or somehow, that vision comes from you. I'm serious.
Serious.
I remember one time you came in our class and you told us to draw some things. You looked over the script and you said, "What are you guys doing?" Just went to the board and draw
quick
a candle.
Quick.
It was in 2018. Up until today,
Still ring in your mind.
I still draw candles in each of my books. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hey, of it.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Now you did a nice thing. I must be honest.
Yeah.